Guys, when you are car shopping and you're comparing a bunch of different cars' numbers, it's never going to tell you the full story of which car you should buy for yourself. I honestly think that this Corvette is the perfect daily driver Corvette, and that's why I want to hop in the car today and go for a drive so you guys can see why. It is about midnight right now, so I feel like it's going to be a pretty aesthetic drive. We're going to drive down to the city and just talk about why this is the car that you should buy. The Black Rose Metallic looks so perfect in the lighting. We're here at 7-Eleven. We're gonna get a few B-roll shots and stuff and head on our way. But honestly, I do believe that the C7 Grand Sport is the perfect Corvette to be a daily driver. So let's go ahead and hop straight into the car and talk about it. What is going on, guys? It's your boy Kozak. We are now driving down I-5 trying to hit Seattle. It is honestly insane how many cars are on the road right now, like at this time. I don't know, I thought if I went, like it's almost 1 a.m. and you know, by the way, this is Seattle in Mexico, not in the United States, so no one is confused. But to start off with the video, why do we believe that the Corvette C7 Grand Sport is the best car to buy if you were looking for a daily driver? Now, besides the obvious, while we're inside this car, I mean, the way that it feels right now, just doing this drive late at night, so peaceful. I was just blasting music before, you know, the camera got turned on, and I know you could do that in any car, but doing it in a cool car, it's just, it hits different. So essentially, if you look at the numbers for any Corvette, you have so many options. The C8 is faster. The C7 Z06 has more horsepower. The C6 Z06 has a better weight ratio to horsepower. But none of them, I feel like, will make as good of a daily driver as this. Now, I also know a lot of you probably do not want to daily drive your Corvette, and I get it. I definitely don't drive mine in the winter, but I still love to take this car out almost every day. And I haven't lived with the Z06 personally yet. I have driven the LT4, and man, does it have power. And it's fun. It's insanely fun, I won't lie. But I don't think that it is the daily driver that, you know, you would want. Now, by daily driver, we can kind of expand into a lot of categories that this car would still fit, because I know a lot of people don't want to daily drive, like I said, their Corvette. Now, oh my God, I hate that bump. Weekend driver, I can see you going a different route. But like, if you're, you know, trying to do some grand touring, back road drives, daily driving, whatever it may be, if you're actually planning to take out your Corvette often, this is the perfect one. Because not only does it balance you being able to go on nice drives like this, but you can track this car. And essentially that's what our first topic is about. That it has the right amount of horsepower for you to be able to drive this car in most conditions. I say most because I would still be hesitant to really take it out in really pouring rain or in the snow. I'm not saying it hasn't been done, I just personally wouldn't do it. I've taken it out in the rain. I know, don't come at me, this Corvette has seen rain. With 460 horsepower, you're not gonna really get into too much trouble. What I mean by that is, you can actually floor this car. Is it going to get up to speed really fast? Yes, but with the Z06, a C6 or C7, or even a C8 E-Ray and up, you're going to be committing felony speeds. And in my area, you're going to jail. Like, there's no fun in that. You don't get to use the whole gas pedal. With this car, you know, you downshift a few times. We're gonna go into fourth. We're gonna, you know, hit it a little. And it's just fun. It's fun. It doesn't get up super fast. If I wanted to third there, I definitely would have moved a lot quicker. but I feel like you get the point. The car gets speed, but what, we just went 60 to 90. It took quite a minute because I was in too high of a gear, but compare that to a C7 Z06. You step on that thing with the supercharger, you're probably going 110, 120 in that same amount of time. Is it more fun? Yes, but straight to jail. With this car, you know, you have less maintenance costs. So if you actually do decide to drive this car, it's not gonna break your bank like the other cars. With the skip shift, you could save a lot of money on gas. I do not use the economy mode, but please do not use that mode. You're going to hurt your engine. Especially if you have a manual, don't go into eco mode. For my auto guys, get the fuel management system tuned out. You do not want to be on 4 cylinders ever. It's super bad for the engine. It makes the engine super unreliable. But aside from that, you have such a perfect car where the maintenance isn't as high as other cars. With the older cars, the C6 to C5, you know, the LS platform is known for being cheap, but parts are going to get harder to find, especially if you plan on keeping your car. And that's kind of the angle I'm looking at it from. And I'll get more into this topic in a second, but parts are going to be harder to find soon. And not only are they harder to find, because the car is older with GM quality, you're kind of looking at a car that isn't going to be as reliable. But that's kind of my main point there, is that you just have this balance of horsepower. It's new enough, it's not old, it's not gonna break, it's gonna be reliable. It's honestly, that's what makes it this perfect sports car. Now, you could get something with a little bit more room, but nothing's gonna look as good as this for the price point and for the power, the performance, the reliability. When I say this car is truly the complete package, it is. Now, going a little bit back, diving in to what I was saying, now I'm pretty sure I'm gonna need to move over another lane. Bro, what the fuck? There's a cone in the middle of the road. Jumping back into what I was talking about, one of the main reasons why I wouldn't tell you to go to something like a C7 Stingray over this, even though it's better value, is because I'm a person who believes in buying a car you're going to keep. And I feel like with the Stingray, I honestly see eventually, for all the pluses of owning a Stingray, eventually I'd recommend going to a Z06. So I can see owning a Stingray till you have a Z06, but this is the better daily driver. And so from a Stingray, what is this road, bro? I'm bouncing like crazy. What is going on? I hope this picks up on camera how bad this road is, man. Well, it looks like I'm not going back home that way, because I'm not waiting in traffic at 1 in the morning. There is traffic leaving Seattle at 1 in the morning. That is insane. Actually insane. Guys, look at this beautiful city skyline. We gotta get around this damn car. Oh my god. I feel like I can't, man. Going on drives like this, getting flashbang behind me right now, but looking at that Space Needle, dude, it looks so good. Wow. The only reason I wouldn't recommend a Stingray is because I'm a person who believes in buying a car I'm planning on to keep, and I feel like Stingray is a great value car, and if you buy it for that, I don't see a reason why you wouldn't keep it. But I do see most people upgrading out of a Stingray eventually, whether it's to a Z06 or a Grand Sport. And most of the time, it's because the wider body looks really good, or they want the power difference that a Z06 makes. So buying a Stingray for that reason is the only reason I would disqualify it. Otherwise, you practically have the same experience as a Grand Sport, but the Grand Sport just looks better doing it. Oh, dude, the city looks amazing. Wow. The nightlife life in a city is just, I can't get over it, bro. Like, look inside this car, the atmosphere in here, just how this car looks and feels. It's just, oh my goodness, man. It's very difficult to beat, in my opinion. Like, a lot of cars look good inside. We don't have any crazy LEDs, which I think will eventually get pretty outdated. But I feel like this Corvette is one of the best interiors that you could have. Say we roll the windows down for this one. I don't know how well the mic's gonna pick anything up because exhaust on for that. Oh my goodness, man. As much as I hate a lot of the things wrong with this state, it's just like the nice city, the bridges, like look at this, man. We're on a bridge crossing the water, like, oh man, it's just hard to beat this city, man. And like the scenery we have here, the nature, the wildlife, like it's honestly one of the best cities to live in, but it's also one of the worst places to live in. Well, one of the best states and one of the worst states. Over there we have another city. It looks genuinely beautiful. I love the C6 interior because it's old. It gives that nostalgic feel to me. But the C7 is just right there in the middle. It's not doing too much, but it's just there. And it's like, it's not gonna interfere with your experience of whatever you're doing, whether you're on a nostalgic trip or whatever you're doing. It's just it's perfect, man. And like that's kind of the consistent theme with this car. Although obviously I own one, kind of glazing it. I was also shopping for a C6 Z06, but trust me, I would not be making this type of video about a C6 Z06. And it just has enough tech to where you're able to enjoy it as a daily driver. With the C6, you're kind of losing out on a bunch of the technology. With the C8, yes, you have more, but you also run into those extra issues of the transmission issues that they still haven't fixed. And overall, I just don't think the C8 is as nice of a daily car as the C7 would be. And I also don't think it's gonna be as timeless. And I feel like they realized that. That's why they changed that button layout, you know, on the center console. The new one looks a lot better, I won't lie. And I am interested to see how the new Grand Sport is gonna be, if I'm being honest with you guys. But it's missing one crucial thing in the C8. Don't got a manual. Like, come on now, like, I don't need to say more about that. It's like in the perfect era where it has enough technology, has cooled seats, has perfect cold blowing AC. You don't need more. Like, you don't need more. And one thing I'll tell you is, you guys know the feeling of buying that car and you're obsessed looking at it every day. You're walking out and you're like seeing if it's still outside. You're just sitting in the driveway looking at that car. Like, you cannot get over it for that first week you buy it. As time passes, the feeling starts to fade a bit. And slowly over time, you get used to the car. And I don't know about you guys, but I've owned this car. I've owned this car for a couple months now. I think it's 2 months in now. There's a police checkpoint. What is going on? These feelings fade over time, and I've had this car for over, like, I mean, I've had this car for about 2 months now, and I don't know, like, with the Stingray, it went pretty quick. The Mustang, it lasted a while, but definitely not this long. But with this car, it's like, I can't stop looking back at it. And every time I go out, I'm reminded of how amazing this car is, not only through the way that it feels, but just how people react to it. Whenever people see this car, I'm telling you, the Stingray got compliments, but it did not get as many compliments as the Grand Sport, man. Like, this car breaks necks everywhere I go. Every time I saw a video, I know that's something they brought up. They brought it up with the S550 Mustang. They brought it up with the C7 when I did research on it, the Stingray. But it's truly not to the extent of how much it's been with the Grand Sport so far. Like, it's amazing. It just gets attention, but it also gets negative attention. The first day I pulled this car out, I got pulled over, right? So look at that city, man. Like, oh my goodness, man. Like, I love it, man. I actually love this. This car just does it all. Whether you want something that breaks necks, this does it. You want something that's fast and quick, you can take to the track sometimes, but you want to drive it around, this does it. You want something that won't break your wallet doing maintenance, this does it. Like, everything you can think of, I think this car can do. It's just like, I hope the enthusiasm I have for this car, whether you're planning on buying it or whether you already have one, it just lights you up, man, because this is such a great car. And the final thing I want to cover is obviously that it makes me happy. Like, this car genuinely makes me happy. And I feel like if you're buying something that just costs so much and it doesn't put a damn smile on your face every time you go drive it, I don't even have an exhaust on this. I'm smiling every time I drive this car. It makes me smile, man. And if you can't say that about your car, you gotta find something that will. Maybe it's not even a car, but go find that thing in your life that's gonna make you smile every time you do it. Anyways, this car is not perfect by any means. The cabin noise when you're inside is horrendous. I have to basically yell at the camera because they just, you know, I think it's because of the Targa top. It just does not do well. Once they get older, they start creaking. Gas is still gonna be a pain in the ass, especially with today's prices. But if you're in a state with GP85, just go tune it. Overall, I feel like when you buy a Corvette, each one has its own little niche. I think the Grand Sport is for sure underrated for what it is, but it's such an amazing car. And I do think that this is the perfect driving car for whatever you're planning on doing, whether it's tracking, dailying it, whatever. For a weekend car, I do think you can lean into a Z06. If I'm being honest, you can lean into that Z06. This is practically, to me, the perfect Corvette made for just being balanced. It's not the fastest. It's definitely not the slowest. It definitely breaks the necks. I don't know, guys. I want to know, what are your thoughts? Do you disagree with me on any of the points I've made? If you could have, you know, one Corvette that you got to drive every day, which one are you picking? Are you picking the C7 with me? Is it going to be the Grand Sport? I am curious. I'm down to debate some of you. I want to thank y'all for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe on my channel. I'm trying to get right now to 400 subscribers. I have a bunch of Mustang subscribers, and you know, I kind of need Corvette subscribers. So if you don't mind, please hit that subscribe. It helps me out, helps get my videos out to you guys more. And overall, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate the support on the recent videos. It means a lot to me, and I'm gonna go ahead and see y'all in the next one. Toodles, bye.